Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the weather this time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. Today, we've got an NFC South matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks standing at 6'5".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Back to throw. Bowen. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid.
Hey, Delta. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. On the ball. Back to the lead grip.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Walker, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Looking to throw. Walker. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Taken in at the 22. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Go now, 18 Gator.
Throwing on 1st down. Bowen. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make this a 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Seven yards there and a 1st down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 8 catches, 109 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. From the gun, Bowen. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And Kamara has it stripped. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them, ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Ready.
Now Walker throwing on 3rd and long. And it's complete. Hooper. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Ito Smith, his first carry. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 7-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it's going to be tipped up and picked off.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
18 Gator.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Kamara off the draw. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And he's going to get to... This one down to the edge of the red zone.
Let's go.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Back to throw. Bowen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Bowen. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Bowen. Going to throw right side here. Complete.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Walker, wide open receiver, complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well, because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give them maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about it.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Let's go. 51 to Mike. 50.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Walker. And he's got his target. That's more. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Mike 52. Watch the slant.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 3 yards out, and the Falcons have taken the lead. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints coming out now to take the field. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Tackle there by Alex Anzalone. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On the ground, Kamara. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 9 yards that time. Back to throw. Bowen. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Bowen. He's got this complete to Hamilton. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Looking to throw. Bowen. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Bowen drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw. Bowen. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for New Orleans. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. To throw is Walker. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to look deep for more. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Walker now. Going to throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
loss of 10 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
At 30 base.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Ready? 60 or. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's get off. Big grip. Big grip.
Walker, a final shot before break. He's going to look deep for more. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A nice pickup there. 18 yards. First down, Falcons.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Holton Hill, the one there to bring him down. On 2nd and 9, Walker. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 26. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Looking to throw. Walker. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Galvin away and bring up 2nd down.
The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Rip left, rip left.
On second down, it's Bell. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Operating from the gun. Bowen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Johnson's got it complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the fourth. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Walker. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. This quarterback now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So another third down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Now, I'm assuming they're keeping this football on the ground, right?
I would think so, because you're looking at the clock. That's in your favor. You look at the geography of the field, right? Where you are, that's in your favor as well. Keep it on the ground. Keep pounding. Run that clock down. You got everything working in your direction.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick is indeed good, and the lead stretches 16-3 now. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So all eyes on the Saints offense. Down on the scoreboard. Just under 2 minutes to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a 1st down. On 1st and 10. Bowen. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It'll be a Saints 1st down on a pickup of 13. Looking to throw. Bowen. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Give him 30 yards there. Back to throw. Bowen.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fit. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. And to give this time to the tailback. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Hurry, hurry. 51 to mine. Quit talking about it and bring it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now, you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence.
Let's bring it. Fight.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now, because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away, because danger lurks.